I'm gonna date nice guys era. Blech. Let me preface this by saying, I feel like I was brainwashed by those people that were like, nice guys finish last. Girls never want to date nice guys. And let me just tell you, that's a crock of shit, okay? It just is. For starters, maybe don't date self-appointed, self-identifying nice guys. Because those guys are not always nice. Like, if you're so damn nice, you usually don't have to tell people, okay? But should you date a human being that is nice? Yes, of course. But this idea of like, girls never date nice guys, it really had me thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna prove them wrong. Ladies, don't do that. I'm gonna prove them wrong, and I'm gonna date the guys that are really nice to me. But let me tell you what happens. Someone's really nice to you, and you give them 1,000,001 chances, and sometimes that emotional connection is just not there. And that doesn't make you a bitch, and that doesn't make them a bad person either. It just makes you incompatible, okay?
Alright, so this girl is popular for being a gamer girl. Now, I don't watch her channel or anything. I just, out of curiosity, just go through YouTube shorts and just find out a bit about her. And this is a topic that it's been really mind-boggling, especially those who are separated. And I get to hear my peers who gone through that phase of, the whole thing. And in my channel, I called Lynn the Builder because I'm the one who wanted to build what's curiosity and build my life skills or my chapter of my life, and how time, experience, and place can evolve your mindset, whatever. And one of the areas that it mind boggles me to think about is that there's a say that nice guys finish last. And for girls who go through this type of, what clarified reasons behind, like if you see a perfect marriage nowadays, you see like husband and wife, or long-term relationship can be as well, girlfriend and boyfriend stick together, go through the thick and thin in life, and as well, not only just that, but also just to, it's about survival. But you got like, whether a girl or guy, whether they're freak in nature or in the past, or have multiple partners in the past, and making a video like this, how nice guys are boring, and where a lot of women who finds marriage or relationship bored, and whether they divorce or separated or dominant power over the men, and it's just very creating the form of delusion. That's what I was thinking of. But what this girl is saying, and if most girls are thinking like that, right? I cannot speak for all, that it's bored or it's not attractive. We came from hunter-gatherer society, evolved to where we are today, an AI revolution. Back in the day, a guy who go and hunt, or who knows how to hunt, is the one that has select the best of the best woman in the pool, right, in the tribe. Now we don't do that, like we don't hunt or kill or to provide that. Well, obviously those who nowadays who has a bigger wallet or bigger salary, income, whatever, will get to that stage. Now, the thing about the whole thing in today's world is involved with money, and we got to buy assets. Unlike if you go for a hunter-gatherer or industrial revolution, it's more about like or even industrial, agriculture as well, hunter-gatherer, is that people will is either being passed on by the family or the tribe or the village to provide you a house or something like that. for you to settle down with the nesting behavior. We see in the past where there was a lot of drugs involved, especially stay-at-home moms, where it was okay during that time. And now we have like divorce. Like today we live in a world, highest divorce rate, highest mental illness, highest suicide, and we're creating dysfunctional family over and over again. And where there's two type of families you go through. You have those who committed domestic violence, may not be boring for the female nature, but why they're staying at it, and it's all about mate selection, finding the right person. But if women are not into nice guys and into bad guys, or whatever, how they find attractiveness, whether they fake it till they make it with a nice guy and created all this drama, tear families apart with divorce, separation, ripping the house into pieces, and a man cannot move forward. I just found out last couple of days ago where my landlord has warned me and wanted my name to be on my ex-partner's property, because I would never ever purchase a house unless if I have a massive saving pool. All right. What I mean by that is, last couple of days I did try to apply for a personal loan or credit card. It does mention about child support, and whatever the figures that you put on, and whatever you go to the bank and assessing your loan, and you're saying, oh yeah, I pay child support X amount of money. Or even when I have a car loan, it really affects my impact of my borrowing capacity, right? And obviously the woman is the biggest winner here, right? They will have the government welfare check. They will have the baby daddy's child support check. They will have their own income check. And they will have their new relationship, whether it's a boyfriend or a new husband, check. So it's a bigger winner. But when a guy goes through separation or divorce, is punished, unless the guy has to get remarried and pop maybe 1 or 2 kids and reduce the level of the child support to the other person. All right. But to know the whole thing like this way, it destroys men even further. Even though you can have your career to earn a $200,000 or $500,000 or $1 million or $50,000 or $60,000, it destroys you internally regardless. It means in 18 years of that child support is being destroyed, postponed. So that being said, right, but when a woman do decide the mate selection because they're like a bad boy or F-boy or whatever, that attracts them, like what this girl says, like, on a nice guy. And I'm not being sour or anything like that, because I'm trying to jigsaw puzzle the whole thing. Why did you have to fake it till you make it in a marriage that you know that this is not the guy to be with? It may as well not to marry. Maybe you give him a try, dating, whatever, but going through that extent because your family circle saying, well, he's earning a very good money, you should stay, stop being stupid. But internally, you have to fake it till you make it. And when you get married, the honeymoon phase finish, and you deliberately incarcerate a man in X, Y, and Z. I've also been told that girls would like to have a bad boy and somehow to change them into a good boy, right? But you started to question, with all these domestic violence and X, Y, and Z, how you chose the mate selection. And obviously, when it comes to divorce or you bring off financially, of course, things is going to go crazy in the household, right? And when you have like that, you're not only just destroying amongst being a mother, being a father, being a husband, being a wife, you know, it's or a career mum or career dad, it destroys more on the kid. The kid grows up and say, wow, my father's very loving, but my mum doesn't let me to see my dad or sleep over or answer phone calls or whatever, and she gets another new paycheck money from left, right and center because of the child care support. And when you know about that, it destroys the whole human nature. It will never move forward. It's just going to create this cycle of this whole thing. And for myself and those guys out there who wanting to go through this route, I'm letting you know, even though I am separated with my partner because we're not married, right? Even though I have a child, I still struggle to pay off the debts that I have. Like, I couldn't imagine if I have a mortgage with my ex, right? And then we divorce or whatever, and there still remain of money. And lucky a property, you can get your value money back. But obviously in a court case, you have to give the X amount of money to the spouse, whatever, or savings, and as well super. That being said, I look at the whole thing, right? That there's no really point to go through marriage nowadays because in Australia it's 43% divorce rate. It doesn't matter how you're going to play it. God knows what separation is going to be in this list. And this is how much benefits that a woman will get nowadays and destroy a man's life. Hardworking, whether he's a 9 to 5, whatever. And nowadays, it should be used loosely because we live in a different time now. We've got social media. Men and women work more hours. They can have a fling or little bit of gateway. What's going on with your co-workers? You know, like, you have that. And now I understand, and I know you guys are going to hate me to say this, is to keep a woman in the kitchen because, I'm not saying I agree to it, but now I understand the logic behind. Because when a woman exposed too much and having power and money, it destroys relationships and family. Because there's always someone out there that's better and even better or worse. There's always someone out there. But they cannot contain with that relationship, as what this girl has mentioned. On a nice guy. Like, fair enough, right? Good on her for telling the truth. But it's just, this is what the human has evolved to now. We're destroying families. And what happened to our kids grow up and have mental health or suicidal? And who are you going to blame? Mum? Dad? Didn't love each other and divorced and separated? That once upon a time they love each other and now they're separated. What have they done wrong? Oh, mum says dad X, Y, and Z. Or dad says X, Y amount about mum. And it never wins with the whole thing, right? So I'm not here to complain. I'm here to learn of this whole current of this relationship pool in the society. And obviously, I made recently a video about a divorce lawyer perspective on divorce. And when I go through the whole thing about jigsaw puzzle, the whole thing, and even a wedding planner has claimed many of the marriage shouldn't be together. They're not compatible. It just tells you how failed this whole thing is. What makes matter worse about marriage or you know, it's that you have government stepping involved, and it gives more power. Obviously, for a guy, there's nothing for a guy. There's no winner rap for a guy. The guy has to put his head down, do not react, whatever what the ex-spouse has gone through, and take more than half of your money. Lucky I didn't go through the marriage route, but I suffered the consequence of the debt that as a man is to provide, protect a family. But when a woman wanted elsewhere or competition, I'm not saying all women are like that, but like competition, and telling their peers, look, my man is like this, my man is like that, blah, 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 blah. And there was another video I've watched. It's like, a man is very simple. We just use one body wash for everything. Well, women, they use the whole lot. You know, this one's for facial, this one's for that, this one's for this. You know, whatever how it is, right? So when you have that whole thing like that, it brings man and woman do not understand each other. That's a fact. Man and woman will get not knowing what they want. But if you have this life of being bored, life is boring. Right? Life is not wild, you know. But if a woman chases for the roller coaster wildness up and down, and obviously all of us would like to divorce or find another partner or new partner, whatever, and you know, and reunite that dopamine in your brain cells, or fulfill that gap, that your happiness is a short-term vision. And many of the divorces who regret and start to realize the green wasn't that greener, because the partner that they wish to be is gone to short-term sight, or not going through this whole who wants to deal with a single mother, and it's going to cause like a pump and dump, or they're going to select a very weak man after that, or a nice guy to be provided. They start to realize they need a provider. A bad boy or an F-boy is not going to deal properly with a single mother. He's too busy with so many options of guys out there or girls out there who wanted to be, you know, wanted to have his service. If there's so many girls after him, it's like so many guys are after this particular girl, obviously they have options. And obviously they get complimented left, right and center, feel better. And as well with the social media validation. It brings a lot of problems. And this is the world that we live in right now. And it is very difficult to comprehend as a man who just knew that it's been fake to make it, and knowing the fact that the resources of a man is going to a woman that's going to have a multiple income stream, where amongst their peers gossip about how to lure, or the single life is better. You know, you don't need a man to survive. So when you have all that together, it brings the sour of the whole thing. And unfortunately, it's wrong. It's so wrong to the point that it is not functionable, and it tears families apart. Not only just between husband and wife. You've got the in-laws. You've got grandparents. You've got like Christmas and Easter. I don't know where I'm going. They just have this traffic work. I have no idea how to go. Sorry guys, I'm just okay, now I'm going. Gosh, this Bulling Drive is so much drama. But when you have that whole notion like that, it destroys the whole lot. And when it's been destroyed, there's my mate's sister's brother-in-law who gone divorced, and he told me, and I told him, you never know, maybe a year or 5 years later, you guys may decide to come back together. Because maybe it's for the kids, maybe it's a better outcome. Maybe you guys have tried your plan B and plan C boyfriend or side guy or side girl, and didn't work out properly. And you know what he said? I don't ever see myself ever get back together. It's like embarrassment, the entire family. Oh, we've broken up and now we got back together. We sold our assets and houses, and now we're getting back together. See, it's called shame. And you live through shame not to get back together because of the delusion as what a woman or if they're making that sort of, if they're the one who calling the divorce, or having this now mentality, I want that Mercedes now. If you don't have it, you get out the house. Because of this, social media has dopamine so heavily. It's like a form of witchcraft, black magic on them. Over borrowed the capacity. Wages are not increasing. Inflation is increasing. Right? Houses are expensive. And when a woman lives through easy mode the entire life, date after date, request after ex-boyfriends to boyfriends to husband, it's such an easy mode. You can go up to the back and say, hey look, I need to buy a car. Why? Because we need a family car. But deep down you know it's not you. You know it's the woman who wanted this sort of mentality, I want it now attitude. And then show it to their friends and family, look, I have this, look, at some given point, we will lose our job. At some point in our life, anything could happen. We can go in a car crash and be disabled for life. Or, whatever. And what makes it worse with the whole thing is that when a woman loses their job, or let's just say a wife or a girlfriend, a husband wouldn't say, you know what, she's unattractive to be like this, or we gotta go divorce. A woman, in the other hand, find out their man is not working, she's gonna go for the D card, and not only just that, value him as very weak. But the society is the way how it is. The job market is not. It's very fragile. We cannot maintain. Like, of course, in life we can increase our salary, obviously by working more stress, more harder, whatever how it is, right? I'm not here to say anything like that. But in some point you will crash because of the economy, time has changed, whatever. But woman doesn't see that way. And if you don't maintain that lifestyle, she'll find a plan B and she'll use the D card. That is the saddest reality to know. In every culture, depending which culture, there's always a similar saying. A good wife will give you prosperity in life. Right? And this really hits the nail really hard. It is very difficult to find a very good woman. Yeah, you can tick the boxes. She has low body count, intact family, very good family. Go to religion. Attend to services, whatever. It's a lot deeper than that. That's just scratched the surface. But when you have competition, but when a woman is programmed to have that instant gratification and that ego, this becomes problematic. And obviously, like I said, nobody can find out during their relationship the ego and as well with the instant gratification until later on in life they start to realize comparison or X, Y, and Z, and it just doesn't get there, right? And it's very problematic when you go through the whole thing. But what I'm saying is, like, the mate selection, if what this girl is telling the way how it is, no wonder why there's divorce and as well domestic violence, destroy family. It's inevitable now. It just makes it show us that this whole thing was once upon a time is not facing to reality or facing realism, to talk real reality. And if you don't have that, you have nothing, and you end up like this, and we're just going to end up in the statistics on being a failure mother and father, divorce, and we destroyed the next generation while our ancestor has fought for famine, war, to pass on the last name or the bloodline legacy. This is the era that we have destroyed.